Hello everyone, it's Stephanie, your CSA coach, and we are on week 10 of our CSA shares. It's a B week for those of you that are half share members. Couple of quick announcements. Bingo is still happening, so refer to the Facebook page or to your emails for those bingo sheets. We have a kids bingo and an adult bingo going on throughout the entire season. Art on the Farm with Dakota is this Thursday from 4 to 6 p.m. So if your kids want to join her, 4 to 6 p.m. this Thursday. And there are also flower field photo sessions with Vanessa. If you're interested in booking a session with Vanessa, please refer to this week's email, and there's a link right to Vanessa's website. So do that before she fills up. All right, jumping right into this week's shares, we have our salad mix. Our salad mix stays just like this, gets stored in the fridge. Do not wash it until you're ready to use it. Once you're ready to use it, do a quick rinse. I throw it in my salad spinner, get the to dry it off, and then you can simply leave it like this and do a quick dressing of a little bit of oil and lemon juice, or a little bit of oil and vinegar, or you can add other things to it. We're actually going to use this tonight, so it's not even going to go in our fridge. So that's our salad mix, best for side salads or as your main base for a big salad dinner or lunch. So that's our salad mix. We have two herbs that were received in our shares this week. We have cilantro. Cilantro gets stored in a cup of water. Make sure that cup stays, the water stays in it the entire time, and it goes in the fridge. So put it in a safe spot where it's not going to get dumped over, but cilantro in the fridge in a cup of water. Cilantro is really good in Mexican inspired dishes, salsas. You can make sauces, you can throw it into salad dressings. You can also preserve it. So we've been getting cilantro for a couple weeks. I know we definitely got it in last week's share. You can take it and you can freeze it between paper towels in a Ziploc bag in the freezer, and you can also dry it. So ways to preserve it. So that's cilantro. You could do like a cilantro lime rice. I plan on doing a big batch of green tomatillo salsa. So that's how I'm gonna use it. We have basil. Basil on the opposite end does not like to go in the refrigerator. So same idea, we're gonna take it and we're gonna put it in a cup of water, but we're gonna leave it on the countertop. It likes to stay at room temperature. So basil is really good for pestos, for sauces. If you have a lot and you have a lot left over, consider making some sauces and some pestos and freezing it. So I do that and make a big batch of pesto and then freeze it into little cubes that I can pull out and then quickly throw into my pasta dishes. This goes really well with pasta. It also goes really well in salad dressings. So you can make a green salad dressing with a lot of basil in it. Refer to the salad dressing PDF if you just kind of want a guide, and then just throw a bunch of basil in it. It's also really good with tomatoes. So we have lots of tomatoes in this share this week. So basil pairs really well with that. So that gets stored on the countertop. Speaking of tomatoes, we got heirlooms, which are a little bit of funkier look, and then reds. These get stored on the countertop. You can slice them up and just eat them. You can make a salad out of them. You can turn them into sauce. You can, once you slice them, we try to use the whole tomato, but once they're sliced, then you do have to put them in the fridge. But they prefer to be at room temperature. We're gonna use them for sandwiches and also in salads this week. So stored on the counter. Last week's recipe incorporated some tomatoes into the dish. It was a braised Romano bean recipe. So if you picked Romanos this week, you can save a few tomatoes to put in that recipe. We have beets, just the bulbs of the beets. Beets are stored in the fridge. You can throw them in a Ziploc bag. I've kind of been accumulating a bunch, and I'm just gonna do a big batch of pickled beets. They're really good pickled. There's a recipe on the blog for pickled beets 2 ways. You can also roast them. You can boil them. They go really good on top of salads, or you can serve them warm with just like a little tiny bit of butter and some seasoning as a side for your dinner. Store it in the fridge just as is until you're ready to use them. We have tomatillos. Tomatillos are just like our tomatoes. Do not remove the husk, leave them in the husk and store them on the counter until you're ready to use them. Then once you're ready to use them, you peel the husks, rinse them off, and I typically roast or grill them. So I have last week's batch along with this week, and we're going on vacation, so I'm making a big batch of tomatillo salsa, and I'm gonna grill it. So I'm gonna do grilled tomatillo salsa with the tomatillos, add in the cilantro, and probably throw in the hot pepper that we got as well. And then a little bit of seasoning and stuff, and keep it really simple. So these are super tasty grilled and roasted. There's also some sauce recipes on the blog for tomatillos. We received a hot pepper. Hot peppers get stored in the fridge just as is until you're ready to use them. These are basically used to add spice to anything. So if you want to add spice to your salsas, if you want to add spice to your dressings, if you want to add spice to roasted vegetables, you can chop them up small and kind of mix it with your roasted vegetables. But stored in the fridge. We have eggplant. Eggplant is stored in the fridge, and you can wrap it in a towel, either a paper towel or a hand towel. Throw it in the fridge. I just leave as is and throw it in the crisper drawer. These are great grilled. They're great roasted. There is an eggplant dip on the blog. There's also like an eggplant, I think it's a grilled eggplant actually, that is also on the blog. So if you're looking for different recipes, turn to that blog for ideas. These, because they're so nice and tender, I prefer grilling, especially since it's grill season. So I'll peel them, I'll season them up, and just throw them on the grill, flip them easy side. So that's our eggplant. We have cucumber. Cucumber is stored in the fridge until you're ready to use it. Wash it, you can peel it, you don't have to, you can serve it with the skin on. We typically just cut these up and serve them as a side or a snack. I believe this week's recipe will showcase a way to serve these. I have an idea in my head, I just have to kind of work through it today. So stay tuned for that on Thursday. You can make cucumber salad, you can do quick fridge pickles, those are all in the blog. So just other ideas for cucumbers. We have a ton of summer squash, all different kinds. Summer squash is stored in the fridge in your crisper drawer. You can serve summer squash raw. You can slice it nice and thin and throw it on top of salads. You can use it as noodles, either like a lasagna noodle, which there is I think it's called a zucchini roll-up, one of my favorite recipes on the blog. That's really yummy, and you have plenty of summer squash to do that with this week. There's also a pickled summer squash on the blog. You can spiralize them and use them as noodles, which is just quick blanch, and then do like your pesto on top of that. You can also grill them. So we had them over the weekend. We just put a little oil and then salt and pepper and threw them on the grill. So super easy side. We have garlic. Now the garlic is still on the fresher side, so we want to store this in the fridge. The outside layers probably need to be peeled, but then your inner layers are still pretty moist. So in the fridge, it's not cured yet. Used for just about anything. So I add garlic to my salsas, my salad dressings, my roasted veggies. It will be showcased in this week's recipe for sure. We have torpedo onions. Torpedo onions are a fresh onion, so these are also stored in the fridge. They're not cured. You can use the entire thing. So your tops are like big scallions, and then the bottoms are the bulbs. You can serve them on top of salads raw. They would pair really well with the beautiful tomatoes we got this week, and maybe a little bit of basil, and then a simple dressing. You can roast these, you can grill them, but store it in the fridge because they're not cured. We have new potatoes. So new potatoes are technically supposed to be stored in the fridge. I've actually had luck just storing them like my other potatoes. We typically use them within a week or two, so they don't last long. I love just roasting them as a side, seasoned with some butter and some fresh herbs and garlic. They can be grilled. So we have our grill packets on the blog, like a foil grill packet with veggies and potatoes. Those are really easy. These can be roasted. They can be chopped up and sauteed for like a hash brown. So more of a breakfast item, but lots of ideas on the blog for these guys. Typically stored in the fridge, but I've been storing them in a cool, dry place, and they've been surviving that as well. Last but not least, we did get to pick flowers. If you didn't hit the rainstorm today, or if you're Thursday pickup, hopefully you have a little bit of a better time. We kind of hit rain and thunderstorms today, so I don't know if everyone got to pick, but if you did, you got to pick flowers. You could pick some fresh herbs, and then also beans. So either string beans or Romano beans. If you did not pick Romano beans last week, I encourage you to try those this week because last week's recipe showcased those and it was really good. So just a fun way to try a new, it was my first time working with them, so it was nice to try something new. Both Romano beans and string beans get stored in the fridge. I have them in a Tupperware container that I'll put the lid on and just store them as is. We are actually headed on vacation to the beach, so I'm going to clean these up and throw them in a Ziploc bag, and they'll be eaten raw as a snack. My kids love string beans, so that's why I picked string beans this week, so we don't have to cook them. That'll be a snack, but they can be either your Romano beans or your string beans can be sauteed. They can be put in your grill packets. They can be quickly blanched and then used in salads, or they can be eaten raw. Romanos I tasted and aren't the greatest raw, so we definitely want to blanch them or slow cook them, which is what the braised recipe is. That is it for this week. Enjoy your share. I am going on vacation again. I'm so sorry. Either I will be hopping on live next Tuesday with a modified live unboxing, or Trisha and Tom will be hopping on to cover me for next Tuesday. But I will be back live regular for the following week. So stay tuned for next week. It might be slightly modified based on our availability and what we can do. If there are any questions, make sure you tag me. I won't be readily available. I'll have access to our Facebook group, so make sure you tag me because I may not see every single post. If you find a fun recipe or you're trying our blog recipes, make sure you post so that everyone sees what you're making and what you're liking and what you're sharing. It just kind of helps everyone in terms of members using their shares. I will see you in 2 weeks for sure, possibly see you from the beach next week. Thank you.